1, 2, 3, 4.
Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling, chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling, chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now.
What up, y'all? It's Babylon 5 Podcast. It's your boy, Jermaine Event. How are you guys doing? Just pardon me 1 second. All right, there we go. That's a good thing to leave my webpage on. I was like, last second, like, fuck, I should have pulled that up. I had it all set up, but then I, just hid the screen or whatever. Forgot to pull it back up, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, it's your boy, Jermaine Event. As I said, this is episode 182. And we're calling this bad boy number 1. So, pardon me. I just changed the name. It was originally just the working title that I put on there was Great Crowd, because there was simply a great crowd in Perth, Australia. It was pretty dope crowd. So I fucked with that crowd at UFC 284. You know what I'm saying? It was a good card. We're gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? We are definitely gonna talk about this card and the fight between the number 1 ranked pound for pound fighter against the number 2 ranked pound for pound fighter. And who is number 1 when it's all said and done. We're going to talk about a few more fights on that card. And we're going to talk about the change in next week's card, which was originally Erin Blanchfield versus Talia Santos. But there is a change in next week's main event. So we're going to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys want to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. You guys can email this podcast, pardon me, email this podcast at Babylon5podcast@gmail.com. If you guys want to hit that like button anywhere that you're listening to this podcast, or if you're going to rate this, or hit that share button even. Let your people know is a nigga over here talking about MMA. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm branding myself, is a nigga talking about MMA. Like MMA from a nigga's perspective. You know what I'm saying? From a nigga's perspective. That's what we getting in the Babylon 5 podcast. If you niggas want to follow your boy on Twitch, head on over to twitch.tv/Babylon5. You guys can cop some merchandise by heading on over to teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop. And lastly, don't just be my niji, be my patrons. Head on over to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod, and you can be my patron today, ladies and gentlemen. UFC 284 in Perth, as I just mentioned, phenomenal crowd. It was announced that Jens Pulver is going into the Hall of Fame. You know what's interesting is I was, just before they even announced it, like maybe a couple days before, I was thinking because niggas, we had a leadership meeting, and then niggas went to the bar afterwards, and the bar we went to, there was trivia. Niggas was doing trivia, and I was like, I just wish a nigga would ask, who was the first UFC lightweight champion? And I'd be like, Jens Pulver. I was just thinking, dude, I would be the only nigga that has that cuffed. And then they announced up Jens Pulver in the fucking Hall of Fame. Honestly, I was like, damn, how is this nigga not already in the Hall of Fame? How is he not? I guess they said he's been campaigning to be in the Hall of Fame for years. So I was like, that's fucking wild that Jens Pulver wasn't already in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know if the Hall of Fames really mean anything at all. Anybody's Hall of Fame. Fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Fucking Walk of Fame. I don't know if any of this bullshit actually matters. I don't know if winning a Grammy actually matters. It matters to the people if we choose to put value in that. But if a nigga like me who's telling you right now I don't see any value in it, like, I don't find such things relevant. Because he's a legend, you know? If you didn't already have him there, if this man had to campaign for years to be in the Hall of Fame, what about Frank Shamrock? I don't know. The UFC is the UFC, though. They control it all. It's not like this is a Hall of Fame of the best fighters in the world. It's just the promotion doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Anywho, UFC 284, ladies and gentlemen. Headlined by Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. And as I thought back on this fight all day, man. And even when I was watching it live, I'm like, this is one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights I've ever seen. And unfortunately, well, I mean, it is what it is. Islam Makhachev wins via decision. A lot of people thought Islam was going to just go in there and dominate Volk. I forget what I said last week, honestly, but because as the week started going on, I shifted. You could see it online. I was 100% in Volk's corner as the week went on, man. I had full confidence in Volk. I was watching his one of the embedded episodes, and he was doing this defense for the takedown. And he did it in the fight, I believe in the 5th round or the 4th round. One of the later rounds, he did this defense. And I was like, that's exactly what Conor did to Habib at the start of their fight. When he hooks him around the leg to stuff the takedown. And that's what Volk was doing when I saw that. I was like, dude, he's training that so slickly. He's going to bust out that Conor defense. And it worked. It worked. He looked great in there against Islam. People thought he was going to get destroyed. You see there in this tweet, Volk says he believes he won rounds 2, 3, and 5. He definitely won 5. He dropped him in 5. Got him, hit him with some ground and pound. I was hype as fuck for this fight. I couldn't score it live. I got to go back and watch it again and score it. Because I even tweeted, I knew in the moment I was too emotional in watching this fight. I have so much admiration for Alexander Volkanovski. He fucking inspires me, man. He's inspiring to watch. That dude's just badass, all right? Volkanovski's just badass. That's just where it is. And yeah, Volk believes he won the fight. A lot of people think he won the fight. I was watching Joe Rogan react to it. He believes Volk won the fight. Henry Cejudo and his coach and all the people, they believe Volk won the fight. I mean, as I'm saying, I didn't score the fight live. But my feeling at the end of it was, I think Volk pulled it off. I thought Volk had pulled it off. And then when I heard the scores, you got like Doug Cleary, who gave 4 out of the 5 rounds to Islam. All right? At least the other ones gave 2 rounds to Volk. But he gave 4 rounds to Islam. Which it is what it is. I don't know. It was somewhat of a close fight. I do understand that at some point we are, like, I'm naturally giving the smaller fighter Volkanovski, who's moving up in weight class. And the fact that, like, the perception going in here is that Volk is going to get destroyed. Islam is just going to take him down, hold him, and submit him. But that wasn't the case. He wasn't able to do that. And I think to some point we are giving him credit for surviving, for not doing what we thought would happen, not for succumbing to the grappling in those situations. So I do believe there is that. I saw Walt Harris tweet. He was like, please, like, just watch one fight with the sound off. And then, like, it'll, like, and try to judge it, because that'll change the way you look at fights forever. I'd love to do that for this one. Because, you know, it's definitely in Australia. It was definitely a pro-Volkanovski crowd for the hometown guy, you know. So it was, you know, I wasn't caught up in the emotions. By the end, I'm saying throughout the week, I was 100% in on Volk. My boy Landon was like, "How can you go against Islam?" I was like, "How can you go against Volk? Like, everything that I've seen told me that he was gonna fucking win this fight, and he damn near did it. He damn near did it, and that's why everybody's fucking talking about, like, what would have happened if there was a round 6? Because he was coming on strong at the end of the 5th round. He dropped Islam in the 5th round and was beating him up on the ground. This is a good fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good fight. But we must, you know, show goes on. So we're probably going to get Volkanovski against the winner of the co-main event, which I'm going to touch on in a second here. And for Islam, if they haven't booked Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush, then Dariush should just be able to fight Islam next. He shouldn't have to win another fight. He should just be next. Yeah. I think if we've seen anything in this fight, it means, I mean, we already seen Islam lose. He got a one-punch knockout. I mean, anybody could get caught. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could get caught, but he got knocked out. And he definitely, like, Volk showed that Islam is beatable. Fucking, we saw Arman Sarukian was able to survive, and I always wondered what would happen in a rematch there. I believe that fight's going to happen one day, but we definitely saw here that Volk got close, and Volk was hard on himself at the end of the fight because he's like, you know, he knows how Islam has this reputation for being so freakishly strong, so he didn't want to, like, he didn't want to make any, like, mistakes. He didn't want to take too many chances and end up in a bad position. And he was saying, like, I don't know what the fuck he meant, because he kept saying, then I backed myself. Anytime I backed myself, then I was successful. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Is this some Australian lingo? I didn't back myself. Every time I backed myself, and then I was like, nigga, what are you talking about? I didn't know. I don't know what that means. But he's going to have to explain that to me. He's like, every time I backed myself. It was just funny. But, yeah, he was pretty disappointed because he was like, you know, later on when he decided to go for it and take those chances, there wasn't as much danger there as he thought there would be. And he had more success. So he's like in the second fight, that first round would be absolutely different. Like, it's interesting. This was a really good fight. They were pretty evenly matched. I don't think Volk should go down to number 2. Yeah, he lost on the judges' scorecard in this fight, but he looked amazing. I think he's still number 1. Islam number 2. And speaking of Volk's next opponent, in the co-main event, I was pretty happy. I was pretty hyped for this fight. As I predicted, we have new interim featherweight champion Yair Rodriguez. Yair. Yes, Yair. I was real hyped for Yair last night. I believe, yeah, he had his mom and dad there with him. His mom was doing this like weird, like I don't know, it's like the prayer thing. I'm not religious, so I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like weird. Like it's just foreign to me. There's like some like real intense ass like touching on him, and I was like this whole like, and then she was like saying something. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But but yeah, he went in there and did the damn thing. He was hurting Emmett to the body with these kicks. Yair looked amazing in there. He still did some bullshit. He goes for these. He gets like, he looks phenomenal in there, right? He always looks phenomenal, and then he goes for some Michelle Pereira super flashy shit for no reason. All right. And then at the end of the first round, he ended up on the ground taking some ground and pound from Josh Emmett because he put himself in a bad position trying to do some flashy shit. He put himself in a bad position trying to do some flashy shit. And that's typical Yair. He's usually fucking super quick with these kicks to the head. He kicks you in the mouth like some fucking... What is that, Zohan shit type? You know, remember that Zohan shit? Like, oh shit, you kicked me in the face. Yeah, like, boom, I kicked you again. That type shit. That's how fast this nigga be kicking niggas. But then he'll just do some super flashy shit and then end up in a bad position. That's how fucking Frankie Edgar fucking just did that nigga dirty. And to come from that, Yair, to come from that to and new, I'm happy for this young man. I'm happy for this young man, dude. I'm hyped for Yair. So that sets up Yair Rodriguez versus Alexander Volkanovski. And that's a pretty interesting fight. You know, Islam was pretty successful in the striking, in the stand-up exchanges with Volkanovski, but as I was listening to Weasel, and he's like, it's most likely that the majority of Volkanovski's camp was based around grappling, looking at how well he did in the grappling. And it's pretty obvious that most of Islam's camp was structured around striking. He was talking about he was going to knock Volkanovski out. That was his prediction coming into this, was that he was going to knock Volkanovski out. So that should definitely lean into the fact that the focus of his camp was striking, while the focus of Volk's camp was grappling. So I think we'll see the same kind of striker we saw with Volk against like Max Holloway or fucking Zombie. He's just gonna run through these motherfuckers. He's probably, if we get that Volkanovski, he's gonna run through Yair. I don't think the kicks are gonna be fast enough to get there, because if he's doing that real quick in and out shit like he was doing against Max or Zombie, dude, just punishing these niggas, because he wasn't really doing that against Islam. Wasn't really doing that. So that's going to be the next fight for Yair. I'm not sure what happens with Josh Emmett next. He's 37 years old. Maybe he moves up. I don't know. Niggas was talking about him fighting Calvin Kattar. I don't know if that's I don't think that's the move. I think there's other matchups out there. Who's fighting Arnold Allen? Oh yeah, Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen. Okay. That's a banger. He should fight the loser of that fight. That's what I think should happen with Josh Emmett next. Also on this card, man, fucking Jack Della Maddalena versus Randy Brown. Now, I went with Randy Brown. I felt like the height and just how slick Randy Brown is with the striking. I thought it was pretty obvious that Jack was going to take a L here in his hometown of Perth. I was wrong. But Randy Brown looked great in there. He was touching that boy up in and out just too fast. Pause too long. He was just all over this. He was all over Jack, just touching that boy up. Looked great. And then that power, fucking Jack touched that boy and he fell forward, face down, ass up. If you're watching the video on YouTube, you can see the photo here. He fell flat on his face down, ass up. Like, the power. He got touched and went down. Jack jumped on him, submitted him. That shit was wild. Just one touch. Randy Brown looked great up until that point. Looked great up until that point, but fucking Jack Della Maddalena is that dude. He was talking about he wants to fight a top 15 guy. But then I was just reading right before I started recording. Oh, he's okay. He said he wants to fight Vicente Luque, who is somehow I don't know. He's somehow 9. I thought he would be lower than that. Who has he lost to? Oh, he lost to Jeff Neal, who's right at 7. He lost to some more niggas though. He lost to Gilbert Burns. I believe it's one more nigga he lost to where it was like, damn, Luque. Damn, Luque. Thought there was one more nigga in there, but I could be wrong. Nah, yeah, he's trying to fight Luque. That'd be dope. I think Jack Della Maddalena is a problem for pretty much everybody. He looks great, dude, with the power. I was doubting him, but the way he was... I mean, as I'm saying, Randy Brown was touching him, but, like, with, like, jabs and, like, just... Jack had the high guard up and was just coming forward, allowing Randy to touch him. And then when he fucking swung and touched Randy Brown went down. Like, he got hit, started moving forward, and then just the body just gave out on him. He fell forward, flat on his face. That power. I'd like to see Jack versus everybody in there. When they said top 15, I'm looking at it. I'm like, dude, Li Jingliang is number 15. I was like, I don't want to see them fight each other. Just as a fan, I don't want to see that fight just yet. Maybe let them both. But then it's like 14 is Michel Pereira. That's a great fight. I think he beats Neil Magny at 13. I think he beats Michael Chiesa. Jorge Masvidal. Dude, I'd feed him to Masvidal. Or feed Masvidal to Jack Della Maddalena. I'd love to see it. But I like to see Jack against everybody. Fucking Shavkat at 10, Luque 9, Sean Brady 8, Jeff Neal 7, somehow Wonderboy Thompson 6, Gilbert Burns 5, Bilal 4, Hamzat 3, Colby 2, and Kamaru at 1 with your boy Leon Edwards is the champion. Rocky, there's only one. Rocky Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Alright, so I'm hyped for Jack Della Maddalena. That dude, he's got some fucking power, dude. Randy Brown looked great until that point. He looked great until he didn't. He was on his way to win. Well, that round, the round was almost over. It was like later in the round, and he was styling on that boy. He was staying out of the way, just like moving. Just out of the way of everything, but then the second he got touched, that boy went down. Jack Della is going to be a problem for everybody. Alright? He's going to be a problem for everybody. There's some good fights all over on this card, though. Shout out to everybody. Modestus Bukauskas, he beat Tyson Pedro. Huh. I don't remember it ending like that. Oh, yeah, he did win that fight. I didn't agree with it, though. It is what it is. It was a good card. Shout out to Joshua Kulibau. Gets the submission victory. That was a pretty interesting fight. Dude, Google told me that fucking the fights were starting at 7 p.m. I get off work. I head to the gym. Like, I got off work at, like... I got home from work at, like, 5 or some shit. And I was like, all right, I'm going to head to the gym. I'm going to get to the gym at, like, 5:30. And just stay for, like, 45 minutes. And, then I get on my phone because I'm like, I bet not go on Twitter right now and see niggas talking about how somebody knows. Look, sure enough, the first thing I see is like, yo, these ladies are getting at it. I'm like, ladies? That means this is the third fight. I missed the first 3 fights, nigga. Because Google lied to me, nigga. I was like, damn, these fights late as fuck. I usually go off of them Google times. So, like, I don't know how it was so... I don't know what was the mistake this time around. But I missed the first 3 fights. I need to go back and watch those. I saw niggas talking about a robbery in the first fight. And I'm interested to go back and see that, because I did pick the other guy to win that. If niggas think that was a robbery, I'm pretty interested to be upset about that. But it was a good card, man. It's a great crowd in Perth. I was interested at the cost of living in Perth. Seems like such a nice place. It seems like such a nice place. I was like, what's going on in Perth? Yeah. What just happened here? All right, I think it was recording there. I just got a message that was like, yo, that microphone is GarageBand is experiencing feedback or whatever. And it was like turn off monitors, but it sounded like it wasn't recording. I don't know if it was. Anywho. Next week, ladies and gentlemen. So, as I was saying, we were going to have Erin Blanchfield next week taking on a pretty big step. Big step up in competition. She was scheduled to face Talia Santos next week, who, in her last fight, fought Valentina Shevchenko, and a lot of people felt like she defeated Valentina Shevchenko, but the judges gave it to Valentina. And this was supposed to be Talia Santos' return fight, but she had to pull out due to injury. And in steps what I think is even a tougher opponent, Jessica Andrade, former champion. Jessica Andrade steps in on 1 week's notice and is the heavy favorite, as she should be. She's been looking better and better every time we see her out there. Dude, I just don't like... When I look at Erin Blanchfield, it's like, yeah, she could fight, but what about her last few opponents tells me that she's ready to fight Jessica Andrade? What about Molly McCann tells me she's ready to defeat Jessica Andrade? What about J.J. Aldridge tells me, oh yeah, she's about to fuck Andrade up? I don't know. I like Miranda Maverick. I didn't want to say anything negative. I didn't want to say anything negative about Miranda Maverick. I'm a fan. But, as I'm saying, Blanchfield is 23 years old. We got Andrade, who's 31, former champion, has faced everybody, man. Look at her last. Just beat the shit out of Lauren Murphy. All right. She fucking had that stand-up triangle choke, just choked out Amanda Lemos on the side of the octagon. Nobody even talks about that. She just choked out Amanda Lemos, who was like, everybody's like, oh, she's going to be next fighting for the belt. She chokes her out in one round, standing up. People don't talk about that. This is a big step up in competition. Jessica Andrade just fought everybody. Right before Amanda Lemos, she knocks out Cynthia Calvillo in the first round with punches. Alright? And then before that, she lost to Valentina Shevchenko, the champion. Alright? You're gonna do that. That's what's gonna happen when you face Valentina. You're gonna lose. Before that, she finishes Caitlin Chukagian in the first round, hook to the body. I remember that. Beautiful. Fight before that, she loses a split decision. Split decision. That means one of the judges scored that fight for Jessica Andrade against Rose Namajunas in the rematch. So she lost to Rose via split. She lost to Zhang Weili pretty quickly, but she did fight Zhang Weili. Lost in 42 seconds, but she defeated Rose Namajunas in the first fight to become the champion. She knocked out Karolina Kowalkiewicz. She beat Tisha Torres, Claudia Gadelha. She's fought Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Dude, she's fought everybody. Everybody in the UFC she's fought. Every woman in the UFC. She's 24-9, former champion. This is a huge step up in competition for Erin Blanchfield, man. I think it's too tall of an ask for Erin Blanchfield at this point in her career to face Jessica Andrade, former champion Jessica Andrade, who has looked like a monster, who just choked Lemos out in the first round, and nobody even talks about it. They act like that fight didn't even happen. Like, we gotta still sell Lemos. We can't talk about that win. But she's running through everybody but the champions, and even giving the champions a good showing of herself. I don't know, man. This is a tough fight for Erin Blanchfield, but I'd love to be wrong. But I'm rolling with Andrade all day in that one, dude. Andrade is just a monster. She's 5'1", just all terror. 5'1", 125 pounds of fucking terror. She's probably gonna knock her the fuck out. To be honest, she's probably gonna knock Erin Blanchfield out in the first round. That's just how I feel, man. It looks like there's a lot of fucking Contender Series guys on this card next week. We got Jim Miller versus Alex Hernandez. That's a good fight. That's a really good fight right there, actually. I didn't know that was on this card. There's Jamal Emmers versus Hussein Ashkabab, who's 23-0. Ashkabab. So you already know what's about to happen in there. It's another one of them Mav guys. The Mav guys. 23-0. I think in 2 different weight classes in his previous fight promotion. Yeah, he's champ. 23-0. We already know what's about to happen. You about to walk through Josh Emmers. Or Jamal Emmers. I'm looking at the nigga name. We got St. Preux. St. Prue's fighting Felipe Lins. So we got St. Preux out there. All right, we got some names. I really like Jim Miller versus Alex Hernandez. That's a really good matchup there. That should be bumped up to like co-main event. The co-main event is like some nonsense. I think it's like Contender Series guys. This is Zach Pauga versus Jordan Wright. I think these are Contender Series guys. In the co-main. Nah, Pauga's not a Contender Series guy. Oh, wait, no, he's an Ultimate Fighter guy. He's a tough guy. But Jordan Wright, I believe, yep, he's a Contender Series guy. And they're in the co-main and not Jim Miller versus Alex Hernandez. That's not the co-main. But I believe it should be. That's going to be a good fight. Decent card. I'm looking forward to it. And you all should too. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be in here too long, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to come in here and talk about some shit real quick. Niggas been just real busy. You know, it's the Super Bowl or whatever. I don't know, nigga. I don't even understand it at this point. I'm saying it was like niggas go about today like it's a fucking holiday or some shit. Niggas like, ooh, we gotta throw a party for the big game. Nigga, why? Nigga, why? You only like to cheer for a winning team. You only like to cheer for a winning team. How do I know this? Because when the Bucks were losing, it was like me and 50 other niggas there, game after game, saying the Bucks were the best team in the world. It was me and 50 other niggas. But now suddenly, it's like fucking, you can't barely buy a ticket. Because niggas like to cheer for winners. They just like to watch a team win. You don't give a fuck about whoever's in the Super Bowl. I don't know who's in the Super Bowl. But from what I think I do know, I don't think it's the Packers. I feel like if it was the Packers, niggas be wearing hella jerseys today. I ain't seen nan nigga in no Packer jersey. I ain't seen nan nigga. But I ain't seen niggas in no jerseys in general, and that's my point. Why the fuck do you care about this championship-ass game? Do niggas be having World Series parties? Fucking bowling championship-ass parties, nigga? I ain't been watching this team or that team play all fucking season. Because I've just been hoping this team that's the closest to my home was gonna win them games. Because I like to cheer for that team that's closest to my home win games. And I wear the jersey and I feel part of it. But when they lose, I just pretend like I got better things to do with my life, nigga. Nigga, when the Packers were losing a lot, the bars were empty over here, nigga. Because niggas weren't interested in watching the Packers. They just wanted to watch a team they believed was going to win. So I could put on the jersey and it'll make me feel good. Yeah, we did this. I just don't understand these parties. Because, like, I was saying to my wife, I was like, when I was younger and I was into football, I would play fantasy football. And I'd have like 5-6 teams, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew pretty much every player on every team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was pretty invested in every player in every team in those days. Niggas hated me. They were hating on me because, you know, I'm watching games and I'm cheering for whoever. I don't care if our team is playing. Our team is playing against that guy. Yeah, but nigga, me cheering for us to stop that guy doesn't win me $1,000 at the end of this whole fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? What are our priorities here? You just like to feel good if you put the jersey on that them niggas is wearing, and if they do good, then you can just lie to yourself and say, yeah, we did it, nigga. Which brings me to my point is niggas don't know shit about any of these teams that are in the fucking Super Bowl. They've chosen to just only watch one team that they wanted to put their faith into, that this is going to be the team that makes me feel good this year. And they don't watch other teams because they don't really give a fuck about football. They just want to watch the team that's closest to their house, and they can wear that jersey and feel good when that team wins a something. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It could be slap fighting. It don't fucking matter. It could be the dumbest shit in the world. It literally could be the dumbest shit. It could be slap fighting. But, like, niggas don't watch other teams. But then, for whatever reason, niggas on the Super Bowl is like, oh, well, we got to throw a party. We got to bring everybody over. It's got to be a big humbug over the Super Bowl, nigga. Why? You've chosen all year to be like, fuck every other team. You've chosen all year to be like, I don't really care about football. And because maybe it's just the Wisconsin thing, because I feel like niggas try to find any reason to get fucked up. Nigga, any reason to get drunk. Oh, this team is playing that team. That team played that team like 2 weeks ago. It's football. They have a schedule. They play all the time. Like, yeah, but this is the big game. What's different about this game? Did they change the rules and all that? Nah, but like, it's the championship game. Nigga, it don't matter. These are two teams that you chose not to watch all year because you don't care about football. You just want to cheer for that team that wears a jersey, and they're the closest to your house. You grew up and everybody wore that jersey, so you put on that jersey, and now you'll all feel camaraderie when they win, when those talented people, if you call that talent. I'm hating on it because, like, just how they change the rules. Like, you could be a really good defensive player and fucking niggas up, and they're like, nah, we're gonna change the rules where that's illegal. That shit you doing right there, nigga? Nah, no more of that. And y'all just keep watching that shit, nigga. It's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb. It's fucking rigged, nigga. I was talking to my nigga Charlie at work, and I was walking up. He was talking to this older guy, David. And David was like, oh, get out of here with these conspiracy theories. Here you go already. And I was like, oh, what's going on? And my boy Charlie's like, oh, the NFL is, or the Super Bowl is fixed, or like football is fixed. I was like, or I think he was like, the Super Bowl is rigged or some shit like that. And I was like, yeah, it is rigged. I don't look into shit, but like, why wouldn't it be rigged? Why wouldn't it be rigged? I think it's more marketable if Tom Brady is the most winningest nigga alive. It was more marketable for fucking Allen Iverson, as those coaches admitted they cheated. The referees admitted they cheated in that game. The nigga they went to prison for cheating in games, that ref. He mentioned that exact game. It was more marketable for the fucking Allen Iverson and the 76ers to go to the finals over the Milwaukee Bucks with Ray Allen and all the boys. They fucking cheated us. Niggas admitting to games that they rigged. It's all the time. And yet niggas are just like, whatever. They're bitter. Whatever. Nah, nigga, it's bullshit. I've shown niggas like that when the Broncos Super Bowl, I think it was like whatever year when like what's that nigga? Peyton Manning was balling with the Broncos, and then they went to the Super Bowl and got like ran through, or maybe it was the other way around. But like, I'll show people like plays from that slowed down. I'm sure you guys have seen it, maybe. But you'll see like them like signaling to the player in front of them that's coming at them to like go certain directions, go high, go low, and they'll do these things, and it's like, I could show you this, and you're like, you don't think that looks even a little suspicious there? It looks crazy. I'm like, in real time, you can't really see that this is going on, but when you watch the slow down, you're like, holy fuck. Why did he do that? Why did he do that, and then why did he jump that way? It's like, whoa. It's too much to be a coincidence. It's all fucking entertainment. I'm sorry I went on this crazy little rant here. Maybe I'm not sorry. This is supposed to be the whole point of this. I just wanted to say that shit is... Like wrestling is sports entertainment, right? And so is the NFL. If you look up... Google, like, is the NFL... is classified as a sport. It is not classified as a sport. It's classified as sports entertainment. It's the exact same thing as fucking professional wrestling. You can do with that information what you will. And if you guys would like to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. You guys can email this podcast at babylon5podcast@gmail.com. If you guys would like to hit that like button or whatever, nigga. If you want to hate, nigga, hate on a nigga, go ahead and hate on a nigga. That hate is gonna do me some good in the end anyway, nigga. I'm sending back positive energy, nigga. Energy is not, what is it, destroyed or created. It's just transferred from one source to another. I'm sending out positive energy. You know what I'm saying? Except for football, nigga. That shit's dumb. Cut that out. Cut it out. I was just like, I'm not brainwashed anymore. I mean, I'm pretty brainwashed with like UFC and all that. I'm allowing that to happen, but all that fucking team shit, that shit's weird, bro. It's weird. It's fucking weird. And if you guys would like, to follow this podcast on Twitch to be, if you'd like to watch your boy play some games, head on over to twitch.tv/Babylon5. If you guys would like to cop some merchandise, head on over to teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop. And lastly, don't just be my niche, be my patron. Head on over to patreon.com/Babylon5pod. You know, low key, I think I heard somebody say it's a nigga quarterback. I think it's 2 nigga quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. So, nigga, we made it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Episode 182. Number 1. Baby girl, you and me. Smashing. That's a hit to me. Off the charts. Look how she get to me. She may be nothing to you, but she the shit to me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you when I see you. I'll holla.
Chant down Babylon kingdom. Team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling chant down Babylon kingdom. Team make we chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon kingdom. Team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling chant down Babylon kingdom. Team make we chant down Vatican now.